to help us on those hard days? Ladies, those were some great questions. We're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about healthy boundaries as self-care. We love to talk about healthy boundaries at Courage to Caregivers, and I know you do too. And so I think Estee has our next question.
I do. So on your website, which I encourage everyone to check out, it's inspiratacoaching.com. You state that you have multiple different types of clients, one of them being highly capable women who need to set boundaries between work and home. So bringing this back to Courage to Caregivers, where we think of self-care as having good boundaries with our loved ones, do you have any tips for our caregivers who are trying to create some balance in their lives?
Oh my gosh, this is such an important topic. And having been a caregiver or continuing to be a caregiver myself, boundaries are critical to self-care and self-love. So, and I've been on this journey myself. So this is almost really raw for me in a lot of ways. So you have to realize and figure out what you can control and what you cannot control, right? You need to know your strengths and your weaknesses. You need to be able to ask for help and accept help, right? It's really hard. A lot of times we just want to put everything on our shoulders, and just keep on going. Well, no one likes that. That's so unhealthy. That is not self-care. That is not self-love. So you also need to learn to let some things just kind of roll off your back. While it's fine to be vulnerable, and I encourage people to be vulnerable, you also have to have at certain times, if a loved one or the person you're caring for is acting out or isn't going well, you have to just remember it's really not about you, right? You have to just be able to let that wash away. And another key thing is you have to learn to say no without guilt. That is a big boundary setting thing, is learning when and where to say no. And so, these are boundaries that can be set, we can talk about these techniques, whether it's in caregiving, between work and home, things like that. But those are the key ones right there for me.
So important. I think we could do a whole nother video series just on healthy boundaries and caregiving, no matter your age or your relationship of care. But I appreciate you tying that back to self-care in that regard. And you've given us some really great mantras today, that's for sure. Our last question